Okay. We'll need measuring tape. We'll need to grab as much boards as Michael tells you to get. We are building a solar kiln so that we can process and dry lumber for not only projects for our school, but hopefully other schools as well, since we'll have the capacity, and for community-based projects, which is kind of the ethos of this whole. This is like one part of a larger project. Currently, we have the logs that were cut down recently from the downtown mall. And we're hoping to sort of like bring new life to this, which, you know, normally the logs get mulched and that's about it. So we're designing and building a solar kiln so that we can mill this lumber with a Sawyer with the help of UVA sawmilling to do some kind of like consulting role and education role. And then as well as Parks and Rec kind of teaming up to help us do the logistics.
And those logs came from the downtown mall that were donated to us. We're going to mill those logs and dry them in the kiln. And the point of the solar kiln is to reduce the environmental impacts of lumber, because the traditional way of processing lumber involves a normal kiln which uses fossil fuels and a lot of energy. And this uses solar power to heat up the wood. It basically works like a greenhouse. It cuts down the processing time of the wood, where if it was just let out to air dry, it would take, I think he said, over a year, but with the kiln, it can be cut down to just over 2 months.
The whole point of the solar kiln is so that it's also cheaper. Like, we don't have to continuously buy treated wood or like stuff from Lowe's, because that's expensive, especially for classes, like several design classes to use.
A number of local tree companies need to get rid of logs all the time. It's the same way that it works at UVA. We just have trees come down, those logs pile up, and generally the end of life for them is to be turned into wood chips or to be sold for firewood. However, after some of the successes that we've had at UVA sawmilling, we recognize that a similar thing could be done for high schools, pairing with local tree companies or with the city, Parks and Rec, so on and so forth. So there's an opportunity here to engage high schoolers in this same kind of pipeline for the material. And the lab school has a wood shop. They're doing some interesting things here. And there's some other local high schools where sawmilling has already happened as a demonstration. So this kind of acts as an excellent kind of focal point, central point for, you know, a proof of concept, see how it would work to have a solar kiln at a high school.
We're going to use it here. It'll go into our supply of lumber and get used for a wide variety of projects. I know some kids want to make or one kid wants to make a bench, and I've heard some other ideas of what kids want to do with it.
There's really like a true collective of people that want to do something, you know, with this lumber, maybe return it back to Charlottesville's history and we can tell a story, like, you know, things like that. But yeah, we'll have someone come in, cut it, turn it into boards, and then we'll put it in and we'll manage that whole process. So the students will actually see it go from like log to like something I can make furniture out of. A couple people who have shown some really great interest in wanting some of this stuff to make art exhibits, to make benches, to make furniture, and donate that back to like local businesses on the mall. Yeah.
Like, it's nice for us to be able to do stuff for our community. I feel like everyone's excited because it's also like the whole community is kind of getting together, and it's like a community thing instead of a one person doing something for the community.
We're learning collaboration and teamwork in addition to the engineering and design skills. Yeah, I'm having a great time.